lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome to the Derby South, the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and round number 19 of the Moonshiners Racing Cup Series. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Tony Trapasso, joined with me with my partner in crime, as always, Mr. Matt Mettler. And Matt, seems like we were just here a couple days ago.
It feels like just a couple days ago, Tony, but the difference, that hot dial is cranked up. As you said, the Dirty South, welcome to hot Atlanta. 90-degree ambient air temperature. If that's not enough for you, Tony, take a look at that track temp, a sweltering 127 degrees. Look out.
Absolutely. And with 54% relative humidity, it is muggy, muggy, muggy. And you know exactly what I mean when I say that. It's one of those universal phrases that you don't even have to speak English. Somebody says, yeah, it's muggy out. You're damn right it is. And with a 12-mile-an-hour wind coming down the backstretch, that's going to wreak hell with these cars coming off of turn 4.
Yeah, turn 4 is definitely going to be the hot spot. Sound the siren when the pack comes through there. Tony, this isn't the old quad oval. This is the new configuration.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the confused configuration. It's like a hybrid Daytona Talladega. The high banks, the draft, but you don't have the real estate per se like you do at Talladega. You want to go 3 wide here, you better hold on to that cookie.
Oh, absolutely. And we're taking a quick look at the point standings before we click it on over into the qualifying session. Kenny Capola, by virtue of his win last week, uh, does get ever closer to Shane Davis. Kyle Holden, Barry Sanders, Tim Wortman now round out the top 5. Hunter Carmichael drops a couple of spots down to 6. Chris Davis, Brandon Zimmerman, John Binder, and Justin Belmonte rounding out your top 10 right now. But look who's knocking on the door with a good finish here tonight. And, getting some stage points could definitely help the 4 of Nick King jump into the top 10. As we're looking at the top 16 right now. Currently, Darren Mullins in, Randy Mullins out.
Yeah, the battle, the inter-family battle there. Randy Mullins in, the other Mullins out. As it stands right now, Tony, you mentioned Nick King. He needs one other component, and that is Lady Luck to be on his side in that 4 ride. If all that comes together, you're absolutely right. But if there's any indication what this race may look like for Nick King tonight, if you go back to the practice race last night, it was anything but kind to that man. Let me tell you that.
It absolutely was not, as I heard the stories about that one. Jeff Taylor out of Rocky Mount, Virginia, currently rolling it right now. There he is in the 23 for Team Watson Racing. Currently the only one to venture out onto the track currently. And just as I say that, he's not going yet as Paul Whitley starts to roll off pit road. There is the 74. Still got a few cars out on pit road. Let's take a quick look at the weather right now. As you mentioned, 127. It's now down to only 125.
It's going in the right direction for these competitors, Tony. That's for certain.
Starting to, as the deuce of Darren Mills starting to roll off pit road now too. Rocking the RS Button Box's bright lime green paint scheme tonight.
Those button box cars, a.k.a. I call them Team Barry Sanders Bad Boy Racing. You're going to be able to pick them out. I promise you that, as they're sporting the construction colors.
They are. Being as it is the other season up here in Central New York, we have winter and road construction. As Scottsburg, Indiana's own Nick King out in that Kevin Harvick tribute scheme. Team Watson Racing on the door and hood of that car, even though it does look very similar to a Hunt Brothers Pizza paint scheme. But Barry Sanders doing a remarkable job on that paint scheme.
Yeah, he certainly did. He's done a great job, in my opinion, on all of his team cars for Atlanta this week.
Absolutely. Is Paul Whitley the only one to lay a time so far in the 74? We've got a few other drivers getting ready to put laps in the books. There's Darren Mills in the deuce as he comes across for lap 1. Mills goes second quick so far. Chris Spear goes right to the top of the heap. Nice run.
Yeah, beautiful opening lap by Chris Spear.
Whitley picks up the pace and jumps back to the front. Spear now sits second. King is on a good run right now, and so is Darren Mills. Darren now, and Hunter Carmichael, currently 5th quick, goes purple in the first sector. There is Hunter in the other baby puke green neon, whatever that is.
Baby puke green.
Yes, I did. As Hunter Carmichael to the top of the heap.
Just where you expect him to be at a 31:35. Almost was stuck in Chicago putting the 1 in front of it.
Yeah, I know, right? As Barry Sanders out on track right now, the boss man goes 8th quick on his first lap. See if he can improve on lap 2 as everybody else has so far. As we're still waiting on quite a few to present here for qualifying. We're going to stay with Sanders here as lap number 2 getting ready to be put in the books now. Warren Young jumps up to 3rd quick. Nick King currently sitting 4th in the 4. And Sanders goes 6th quick. Jamison Middlemas currently sitting 10th quick. As looks like the next one. Well, there's Randy Mullins out of Mount Pleasant, North Kakalaks. Garrett Crawford also in one of the RS Button Box brightly colored cars. J. Crawford Builders on the hood.
Everyone's still trying to catch Hunter Carmichael and best that 1:30. I did it again. That 31:35 lap that he put up earlier in the qualifying session
Well,
is now we're approaching that halfway mark, Tony.
Matt, we did 4 races from Chicago last week, just between the two of us.
Yeah, it's going to happen, I guess. You're right.
As Crawford goes 12th on his first lap, Mullins goes 9th. Randy Mullins goes 9th. Here's Darren Mullins coming out of pit road. Aaron Matthews taking the green now in another one of the Bad Boy Racing rides here tonight.
Bad boys, bad toys. That should be the slogan.
And Crawford does improve to 9th quick. And Mullins goes quick time.
Sound the siren. Randy Mullins, the North Carolina native, pilots that hot rod, that Chevrolet, to P1 with a 31-34, getting Hunter Carmichael by a 10th.
You know, back in the day, they used to call Ryan Newman the Rocket Man because he could really lay down those qualifying laps. Screw that. Randy Mullins is the Rocket Man here in the Moonshiners Cup Series.
Well said, Tony. I could not agree with you more.
As there's Justin Belmonte in the 6th, jumping on the binders, not happy with his outlap. As Darren Mullins goes 13th quick on his first lap. Let's see how close he can get to Junior here. As Randy the son, Darren the dad. Easy way to keep those two apart, or separated.
Separated. In the words of the offspring, mind you.
Oh, you gotta.
Keep them separated. Oh, nothing like being in the broadcast booth with you, Tony. And I mean that in a
Pulled one out. Dave pulled one out of his ass on Sunday night, and he almost got me.
He sent me a message. He was 95% of the way there.
He almost got me on that one, but it's music references. Hey, because I asked him, and I can't remember. For the life of me, I cannot remember the name of the band that we were talking about. But I asked him, I said, "Why are you quoting them?" He goes, "Oh, you know the song." Yeah.
Yep.
Doesn't everybody? Of course, I'll never forget the speech class or public speaking class that I had to take in college, and the teacher said, "We need you to recite a piece of modern poetry." All right.
No. Oh no.
And I stood up at the podium in front of everybody, all 135 people in the lecture hall. And I said, "A poem by Frederick Durst."
Oh no.
It's just one of those days when you don't
When
want to
you
wake
don't
up.
want to wake up.
And
Everything is.
whoa, stop there. We don't need to get a copyright strike, as Justin Belmonte goes 15th quick. Matt Mackin out on track right now as well. But the guy in the front row gives me the metal horns because he knows what's coming, and the look of pure horror on the teacher's face.
I would have paid to be there.
And she looks at me, she goes, "You're kidding, right?" I said, "No," and I handed her the CD out of my bag. I said, "Track 6."
Said modern poetry.
That's what I told her. I said, "You said modern poetry. You didn't say what genre of modern poetry."
Right. They left the door wide open.
She says, "That's actually a song on the radio." I said, "No. They have a video on MTV, though."
Close enough.
But there wasn't any radio stations playing the song. It was just the video. Not that they really could play the song.
Well, they did try to come up with a radio edit, and it was
horrid.
It was challenged. We'll leave it at that. I'll tell you what, who's not challenged out there is that Chevrolet being piloted by Randy Mullins. He still continues to be the fast man in ATL with that 31-34.
As we're checking out Ryan Huff, who's on track, the ace of Brandon Bikey out there as well. Different looking color combination on that ride this week. As Bikey goes 16th quick on his first lap. Huff goes up to 16th now, dropping Bikey to 17th. David Balasari in the Monster Energy whip out on track. Only 3 drivers out on track as Bikey goes purple in the first sector. Let's see what the second one's going to look like for the one. Wow.
Wow, a deep pole hit, and he takes it all the way to the top, Tony, at 31-31.
Did that say Viper on it?
It does say Viper.
Oh, that explains it. Mopar power under the hood of that alleged Toyota.
Hey, we all know I get excited over a Dodge paint scheme.
And that does it for qualifying. Let's take a quick look at the starting grid for tonight as drivers starting to present now. Let me just get that off the screen. There we go. Brandon Bikey setting quick time 31.311. 32 thousandths to the good over Randy Mullins for row number 1. Hunter Carmichael and Tim Wortman going to roll it from row 2. Row 3 is going to go to Justin Belmonte and Warren Young, Nick Wing, and Aaron Matthews. I'm going to start it from row number 4. Row 5 is going to go to Ryan Huff and Paul Whitley. The boss man, Barry Sanders Jr. and Darren Mullins rounding out row number 6. And rounding out the top half of the field, Bobby Justice and Darren Mills.
Rolling off 15th, 69 of Garrett C. Crawford. Outside of him is 16th. That's going to be the 7 of Chris Spear. Rolling off 18th, the 45 of David Balasari. 19th belongs to the Bad Rad Shane P. Davis. Rounding out your top 20, the 77 of Mr. Excitement, Kenny Capola. Look for him to charge to the front deep from in the field. 21st belongs to the 81 of Jeff Carson. 22nd, the 29 ride of Chris Davis. 23rd is Wayne Bowen in the 78. 24th, that is going to be the 11 of Paul Gillimore. 25th, Kyle Holden in the 59 ride. 26th, the 23 of Jeff Taylor. 27th, piloting that 33 of John Bender. I am sorry. 28th, Derek Jacobs. 29th, Nicholas Atwood. 30th belongs to Matt Mackin. And running out the 31 starters here tonight, that's going to be the 99 of Daryl Klotz.
Actually, there's 34 drivers here tonight. We're just waiting on, or 33 drivers here tonight. We're just waiting on Caden Nofree to post up. And Jordan Schmeets rounding out the field of 33.
Thank you for that, Tony. I did not have them on my radar.
All right. And ignore the driver there in the 000.
000 is up top with Tony Trapasso in the best seat in the house for prime time tonight.
And yes, that does have a Viper kind of feel to it.
Absolutely does. You thinking what I'm thinking?
I think I would have tried that more on a Mustang than a Toyota, but if that's all you got, that's all you got. But no doubt about it, he's running a Team Watson Racing setup under that ride, and that would explain why he set quick time here tonight. So Bikey going to lead us to green here, 163 laps of scheduled distance. Stage cautions going to happen at lap 40 and lap 80, and then we're racing all the way to the finish. And Matt, something's going on with your microphone, my friend. But as the field working its way through the 3-4 complex, Bikey going to have the button. Geico restart zone is in full effect here tonight. 5 sets of tires and a full boat of fuel to get it done here this evening at Atlanta. The only thing that's left to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab the burgers off the grill and grab the ice-cold Cokes because it's time to get it on in Hot Atlanta. Race fans, it's show time!
Dropping the green flag, it is time to do the Dirty Bird Moonshine Racing style. Here we go, folks. Strap yourself in for the long haul with us tonight. Tony Trapasso and myself going to take you the rest of the way through as these boys get these next-gen NASCAR Winston Cup race cars up to speed, side by side at the front. Rick Carmichael, look at him doing the dance up front in that 3 machine. He's going to get the early lead.
3 wide.
3 wide right off the rip. Tony, who would have thought?
Everybody except Hunter Carmichael. Tim Wortman threw it to the inside, and he had drivers going with him. And it's Wortman, Belmonte, King running stem to stern there at the front of this piece. Carmichael falls back in line, back in 5th, as he's now following Ryan Huff back there. But it was a great start by Carmichael. The only thing is he just could not get it to go. But now, look who he's lined up with. He's got all his Bad Boy Racing teammates running stem to stern, 4 deep behind him.
Yeah, instead of having friends in low places, he's got all the friends in right places. Barry Sanders, the head cook, chief, and bottle washer of the series, right there with him. That's exactly who you want to see out the rear view if you're taking a peek back out that piece of looking glass every now and then. Is he's got himself in a hornet's nest with the Hulk Hogan Viper right along outside of him in that 1 machine. He's getting a push there from Brandon Baker. Mikey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mikey trying to make it happen on the top side with Mullins. So your number 1 and number 2 qualifiers now running stem to stern on the high line. And here comes Dad, and here comes Paul Whitley in the 74 as well.
Yeah, Paul Whitley up 1 spot in that 74 Ford, that Ford Mustang, just inside the top 10 in that 9th place position. Everything all gravy, though, out front for Tim Wortman Jr. in that 83, Justin Belmonte, Nick King, and Ryan Huff and Hunter Carmichael. That's the top 5 as they run right now. Side-by-side action doesn't start until you get there with Hunter Carmichael. As here comes the Hogan Viper on the top shelf where Mama hides the cookies. He's starting to get some momentum up there.
You know, I forgot he owned one of those. And that would
That
probably,
color scheme.
yeah, that would probably be why that car failed eventually, because everything Hogan touches turns to shit. Just ask his wife. I went there. Get your hate mail coming now, folks.
But Brooke, though, that's a totally different story. You gotta love her.
Not really.
Well, we can agree to disagree, Tony.
I mean, if you talk about second generation wrestler daughters, you can't bet against Charlotte Flair at this point.
Well, if you look at it from that standpoint, Tony, I'm going to have to absolutely agree with you on that one. I was just talking, from the sense of a Southern belle, let's put it that way.
I can think of other names to call her than a belle, because a belle gives you the mindset of a classy woman.
I was trying. I was digging deep.
If you look up on Urban Dictionary the word skank, I'm not saying you're going to see her picture, but you'll see a description, and if the shoe fits.
Tony's already KO'd his broadcast partner. We're not even 10 minutes into this one.
Oh, good grief. But Tim Wortman Jr. continuing to show the way. He's led all 9 laps so far after taking the lead on the opening lap down the back straightaway. Justin Belmonte, Nick King glued to his back bumper right now. And they've got Ryan Huff back there running in 4th as the buffer, as Hunter Carmichael has not gotten away from Brandon Bikey at all.
No, he hasn't gotten away at all. They have been glued, welded, as you could say, through the early going here and throughout the course of this race so far. I mean, talk about dedication to the top line there. Brandon Bikey, Hunter Carmichael just inside. There's the 54 Bullets right behind the number 1. I mean, I don't think those drivers have changed the position over the last 3 or 4 laps. It's like that field is frozen in time, but it's not. They're going around here at north of 180 miles an hour.
And that is bad news for the rest of the field, as the final member of Bad Boys back there, and I believe it is, the 42 of Warren Young it's the 5 by Aaron Matthews, has now gotten by the Double Deuce of Bobby Justice. So now all those bad boy bright green cars, now they run stem to stern as the 69 of Garrett Crawford drops down into line with the rest of the team. This is about to get interesting.
Yeah, Tony, you can feel it, the calm before the storm. It's like being in the eye of the hurricane. All is calm, but in a matter of moments, hell could unleash at any given point in time. Is that Dodge Viper, who thinks it's a Toyota, still continues to lead the charge in that top line with help from the 54 of Randy Mullins all over the back. And they're starting to get something figured out because they are inching their way towards the front now, Tony.
Well, they've been running up there long enough that the preferred line is going to start moving up the track. But right now, Nick King playing blocker as he's gone up and blocked that run a couple of times. Not far enough in front of the one of Bikey to throw the block yet. Just barely gets the clear. He's going to peek out going into 3 to get some clean air to the radiator of that Ford. As 3 Fords, 2 Toyotas, and then 2 Chevys occupy the top 7 positions right now.
Yeah, good mix up front. From a manufacturer standpoint, that's what they want to see. And look at the push the one of Bikey got from Mullins there. Now he is side by side with the 4 of Nick King. Comes down to pick a little bit of a side draft up. And they're still side by side. And there's Huff. Look at Huff in that 93, up 4 spots from where he started. He's going to huff, puff, and blow your car out the way if you're not careful.
Yeah, but you want to take a look at who's the biggest mover so far? If you said Mr. Excitement, Kenny Capola, you're right. And just wondering where we got Kenny's baby picture. Thanks, Mom, for supplying the picture for tonight. I don't think that's one he wanted shown, but okay.
I don't think he knows about that either. Well, that's one of the great things about when you watch the broadcast back, though.
True story. Because right now the battle is between King and Bikey. That top lane continues to just steadily climb forward, and it has to do with all those dudes from Ram Builders in the top line working with the one of Bikey. They're making it work.
They are. It's not about how you got there. It's about working with what you have available. And that top line, outside of that little flare there, as you saw the 7 of Chris Spear getting way up there in the 3rd line up there, they've been doing a really good job of keeping it stem to stern up at the top side of the racetrack. And that's really allowed them to slowly but steadily claw their way forward as they get nice and organized to get on the top side once again.
And look who else is in that top line with them. If you said Kenny Capola, Shane Davis,
they're there.
They are definitely there. As Chris Davis there as well.
3 wide.
Oh boy. Almost 4 wide.
Ooh.
Looks like Mullins got sick of playing follow the leader. Come on, stay with me here. There we go. And that completely messed up. That completely messed up that top line.
The top line is just all out of sorts. Now they're going to have to get that reshuffled. And you can see how that top line just lost all of its momentum, Tony. He fell back a ton. Now Bikey all the way back to 8th, and he was battling for 3rd with Nick King.
They're now a second off that lead group.
That is just incredible that they lost that much time just for having one little thing go wrong there on the top shelf since the drop of the green flag. Lead change at the front of the second pack. Here comes the 54 of Mullins. He wants to lead. He's going to have some help from the 74 of Paul Whitley down the bottom. But here comes Mr. Excitement landing in a helping hand at the top side. He's got Shane Davis behind him who goes into blink mode. You definitely don't want to do that.
No, you absolutely don't. Is Wayne Bowen up there as well? So 3 of those, 3 from that team running stem to stern now. And you take a look back there, you got a couple more of the Bad Boys cars got shuffled into that mix as well.
I mean, look at that, Tony. I mean, Mr. Excitement, Shane Davis, picked up Vikey, and he just checked out on that bottom line of being led by Mullins, and they are just screaming.
Well, that's what happens when you get two Toyotas hooked up at a track that runs like a plate track. And, you know, the thing is, unfortunately, Mullins is screwed right now. And the reason I say that is he's trying to lead the Ford with Whitley pushing him. Now, yes, the Fords can push just about anything, but you'd be better off having that Ford try to lead that bottom shelf.
I agree. There is something to the magic down there, Tony, as far as how you stack these different manufacturers in this plate track configuration. You're absolutely right.
Right now, two Toyotas and a Chevy doing work on the top side. As a matter of fact, it's two Toyotas and two Chevys. Nope. Two Toyotas, a Chevy, and then another Toyota.
Fast lap so far here through the early going. You guessed it, Hunter Carmichael currently sitting in fifth with a 29.78.
That's moving. That is seriously
That's a lion.
It is, and he backed up to get a run when all hell broke loose behind him. And luckily, he's got two of his Bad Boys teammates up there or up in front with him. So they've got the numbers towards the front of this piece. Now the question is, what can they do with it? Is we've seen a lot of give and take here in the early goings, as we're just past halfway in stage one. Wortman, Belmonte, King, Huff, Carmichael, Sanders, Young, your top group here. And then you're over a second back to Brandon Vikey. Make that 2.5 seconds back to that second group being led by Brandon Vikey as he's getting pushed along by Kenny Capola and Shane Davis. Just, they're not being overly aggressive. And just as I say that, Capola now locks bumpers with the Toyota in front of him. And the only person I would trust to push me through a corner here is that 77 of Capola.
Yeah, well said, Tony. I could not agree with you more. Here is my my live timing and scoring HUD froze up on me. I'm going to do a quick reset here. Let's see if that'll kick it in the pants.
Capola now takes over the lead of that group. They're now 3 seconds adrift of that front seven. And now Vikey returning the favor, locked to the rear bumper of Capola. This is the last couple of spots in the top 10. Capola is plus 12, sitting in 8th. And Wayne Bowen back there. Oh, we got problems in the back. That looks like Mullins.
Yeah, Mullins or Spear got up into the wall there, but we stay green, Tony.
It looks like both of them got into it. Why am I not seeing Mullins? Where did he go?
Darren Mullins currently being scored in 24th. The other Mullins I'm still looking for, the 54.
There he is.
There he's in 12th.
Yeah, but they had problems on the previous lap.
Yeah, yes, sir.
It doesn't look like too much. And I'm thinking that might have been... oh, okay, Shane Davis got involved in that one. As did the 70... Oh, it was Whitley in the 74. Very similar paint schemes between Whitley and Randy Mullins. And that Ford is a mess on the right side.
Yeah, he definitely has some damage that he's going to have to get sorted out because he's got his pit box queued up there.
10 to go in the stage. Wortman has led all 30 laps so far.
Yeah, Wortman has been golden here from the start of Hot Atlanta. I mean, look who's pushing him, though. I mean, you got the 6 of Belmonte. You got 3 Fords up there getting it done, leading this piece. But then how about Mr. Huff himself in the 93? Probably biggest shocker this early on in the run is he's sitting there literally in that 4th place position, right on back of those Fords. First Toyota in line.
Well, the thing is, Ryan Huff has had pace all season. He just hasn't had the finishes.
True. Well said.
You know, same thing goes for the car in front of him. You know, that Ford Nick King. If it wasn't for bad luck, Nick wouldn't have any at all.
And you know what? You probably don't even have to mention the words to Nick King, as he probably, every time he straps into that race car, he's probably haunted by every single race that's led up to this point in the season. You know, someone wants to turn the sails around. No one wants to do that more than the driver of that number 4 Ford Mustang.
Oh, absolutely, because that car has it's had pace all season long. It's just he hasn't had any luck in finishing a race. And there you see Nick King representing Scottsburg, Indiana.
Well, late luck is on his side so far here through the early go, because now we're writing lap 33 in the books, Tony.
Yeah, we are at that, and I'm just checking out the live chat right now. Cindy Edwards is not happy with you, my friend.
Who?
Cindy Edwards is not happy with you.
Well, I apologize to Miss Edwards.
Because she said, "Get out of my head with your offspring comment." And she said, as soon as you said it, the song started playing. And, well, to get her mind off of that, what do you say we go find her favorite driver? As there is John Binder, just biding his time right now, rocking the Sundrop number 33. Digging the beard. Definitely digging the beard.
I'm also digging that soft drink.
Yeah, I ran out earlier today.
You too?
Ooh. Paul Gallimore getting all sorts of sideways. Driving the, is that a Brett Bodine tribute scheme when he ran for Hooters?
It kind of very reminiscent of that scheme, Tony. You're onto something there. I almost said Darrell Waltrip with that.
No, that was the Western Auto car.
Yeah, that Western Auto car that he had that metallic paint, that metallic flare to the paint for that one All-Star race, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but he was numbered 17 for that.
17, right. Correct.
Whereas Gallimore running the 11, that went to Brett Bodine after DW left Junior Johnson Racing and went to Hendrick.
Some tight racing here, though.
Very tight racing here, just outside the top 20. Shane Davis in that group. Or no, there's Shane Davis and Chris Davis running stem to stern right now, trying to claw their way back towards the front. The second group, this trail group, currently Darren Mullins leading the top side. The 27 of 27.
27.
Oh, it's Derek Jacobs, who unfortunately is a lap car at this point. I don't know what happened there. Something went wrong with the 27.
Yeah, clearly, as I didn't think we had anyone to lap down yet, but apparently that is not the case. As we go back up to the point,
Jacobs and Whitley.
Tim Morgan Jr. continues to carry the torch.
Oh, here we go.
Around the Merchant Speedway.
Here we go. It's go time. 2 to go in the stage. Barry Sanders now jumps up to the top side with his Bad Boys Racing teammates. Oh!
Here comes the Colonel. Woo! That was close.
That was sketchy there as Carmichael and Huff got into each other coming through 1 and 2. And I think they may have scared Warren Young, as he is now fading back quickly.
Tell you what, that was almost a Code Brown moment there. Perhaps was the case for Warren Young. He said, it's too early on in this one. I'm out, boys. I'll catch you later.
You know, and this is one of those tracks where the way you have to drive this track is if you want the pass, you've got to set up almost a lap ahead to get by somebody cleanly.
You know what, Tony? That takes me back to qualifying, where we see a couple of these drivers abort on their outlap. You're at the nail right on the head. In qualifying, it's the same way. It starts with the outlap. If you want to get a pole speed, if you want to be in those, caution on the racetrack. First one of the day, Tony.
That's the stage break. And coming home with the stage victory, Tim Wortman Jr., Justin Belmonte, Nick King, Barry Sanders, Hunter Carmichael, Warren Young, Ryan Huff, Kenny Capola, Brandon Bikey, and Wayne Bowen getting the final stage point in stage one. And with that, we are going to step away, pay a couple bills, but don't worry, we're going side by side. You're not going to miss a thing. And we are back at Atlanta for round number 19 of the Moonshiners Racing Cup Series. Tim Wortman Jr. winning stage one and winning the battle off pit road as we get ready to turn them back loose here. Stage one in the books. And Matt, I don't think we could have asked for a better opening stage here tonight at Atlanta.
No, I mean, it had everything you wanted, everything you expect from this newly converted hybrid plate super speedway type reminiscent 1.5 mile oval here from Atlanta. Wortman Jr. has been absolutely perfect throughout stage one of the race, qualifying as well. Lights are out on the pace car. Let's see if Mr. Excellence can keep it up in the 83, or one of these other boys has something to say if they want to take a page out of Bob Seger's playbook and turn the page here. Take it away from the 83 in stage two.
Into the Geico restart zone they go. Wortman wastes no time jumping on a loud pedal. Justin Belmonte stacks up the outside lane. Nick King stacks up the inside lane. Oh, baby.
And Hunter Carmichael gives a huge shot to Justin Belmonte in the 6. I mean, that's as big of a push as you'll ever see. But Hunter Carmichael says, nah, I want to go get that 83.
Well, hold on. Considering where we are, we're in the ATL, home of Ludacris. You know what I'm thinking. Move!
Get out the way.
Oh, speaking of which, Wortman just hit set.
What a save. There goes King.
We're
King
under
is
caution.
sideways.
Oh, crap.
Did Nick King save it?
No. Maybe.
There's not seen a lot of damage on that Ford, Tony. What in the world went wrong?
Well, let's take a look here. You're going to see Belmonte get into the back bumper of Wortman coming off of 4, gets him sideways, and then Nick King backed out of it, and Barry Sanders blasts him, and all hell broke loose behind him.
Jeez, man, they're still wrecking.
I'm trying to figure out who that was. I think it might have been...
I think Kenny Capola got a piece in that too. Oh, yeah, he almost got set into the outside wall. Fortunately, there was a race car there that shot him back straight.
Oh, that was Chris Spear that just got annihilated. Let's go back and watch here. And keep your eye on the 7 on the top side, as it's going to happen in front of him.
I was going to throw the accordion effect in there big time. There it goes.
Oh!
Kenny Capola does go for a hard ride.
Oh, he absolutely did.
Who did he absolutely massacre up on the top shelf?
I don't know. We're about to go find out. It looks like it may have been Wayne Bowen. There's Capola. Bowen right behind him. And that's where it's going to pop off. Everybody jumps on the binders.
Oh.
Bowen annihilated Mullins.
And some of these drivers had no idea it was coming. Absolutely blindsided.
Let's watch this again. You're going to see Bowen there in the 78. The 7's going to get in with him. Oh. And then the 23, nowhere to go, just annihilates Bowen. Spins him like a top. Let's watch that onboard.
Ford Storm. As soon as Wortman hits them, no time to react there at all, Tony.
Absolutely not. I mean, and you could hear it. Bowen could sense it was coming. He was off the throttle when he and Capola got together.
I'm pretty sure he was reacting to seeing Wortman being sent to the flat there below that red line around the racetrack, and then no one could anticipate what happened shortly after that.
Absolutely not. But that's a quick caution there, as lights are already out on the pace car. Hunter Carmichael and Warren Young going to lead the top side as they were running 1-2 when that caution appeared.
Yeah, one of the biggest losers in that whole debacle, Kenny Capola in the 77 and Chris Spear being shown in 30 and 31st position right now, Tony.
Yeah, that's definitely not the way they wanted their nights to end here tonight. But up to
6 laps, we were caution-free, and then we had the first big one uncork itself. But here we go again. That pace car going to pull itself off of that racing surface. That's going to give Hunter Carmichael the button. As we're re-racked, restacked, ready to get the Dirty Bird on one more time here from the ATL. Hunter Carmichael gets a great restart, clawing his way up through the gearbox. And don't look now, but here comes that Hulkamania Dodge Viper in the 1, all over the back of him. What a restart there by Carmichael and company on the bottom.
And Carmichael had a lot of help there from Brandon Bikey. Bikey wants to stay in second for right now anyways. Not really trying to risk it on the top shelf, as right now Garrett Crawford also right there. And don't ever count out Warren Young, as he's trying to make some headway on that bottom side as well.
Oh, he's got the biscuit rolling up top right now. That 42 machine, Tim Wortman Jr., he was the leader until he got shuffled out. A lot of fast cars in that top shelf right now, holding down that top line. They're coming quick, fast, and in a hurry. Is now the 42 just about even with the 69 as they're coming through the 3-4 complex.
And we were worried about Wortman and King. They're still running in the top 10. As there's Wortman right behind the 42s of Warren Young, and Nick King is the caboose in that outside freight train. But don't look now. Here comes Shane Davis looking to peek into the top 10. As right now, David Balisari right in front of him is plus 10 in 8th.
Yeah, Shane Davis, he was your points leader there for a few weeks in a row. Got that very loud paint scheme on that Chevrolet Camaro. He's really in the heart of that Hornets Fest right now. They're on the top shelf working just behind the 4 of Nick King. Ryan Huff to his inside. That's right there, right around P13, 14 out there on the racetrack.
And Ryan Huff has dropped a little bit back. Still solid looking car. Caught on the low side now, and he's got the 54 of Mullins right behind him. And a name we haven't mentioned yet tonight, driving the RS Button Boxes number 81, Jeff Carson. So 2 chrome cars running stem to stern is right now Carson has the 11 of Paul Gallimore right behind him.
Yeah, he's right there. I mean, that grouping on the racetrack right now, you got some wild paint schemes. Stem to stern right there at the back of this lead pack right now. You know who else I've noticed back there too? Barry Sanders in the 88. He was up front there. Now he's taking it kind of almost reversed roles as he's picking up the rear with the gear right now.
Well, he got blasted during that one and only caution we've seen so far here tonight.
He did.
As right now, Wortman looking to get back to the point. He's got Belmonte right there with him. King back in order. But right now, Warren Young hanging tough on that top side.
Hanging tough, but he doesn't have enough stuff because here comes Adrian Wortman Jr. on the bottom with the help of Balisari on the bottom. Oh, look at the run, though. Just as I say that, he says, Matt, I'm going to make you eat your words. Huge push from the 1.
That was a monster push that Bikey just gave to Young. And now Young's trying to play both halves against the middle. Bikey's going to follow him, though.
Where did they conjure up that run? That was insane.
Now, Bikey's looking for an opening right now. And he's going to shuffle back in line. Just push along the 42 till he can get clear himself of the 83. And watch for the 1 to drop down.
I think he's going to bail on the top shelf.
I think he's looking to bail as soon as he can. But right now, he just doesn't have the clear. Now he gets the clear. As Shane Davis was up there to help. As Davis and Wortman now go side by side for 3rd. Oh boy. Oh, don't do it. Well, that was a dick move. Well, they somehow made that stick getting around that lap car that was right in the racing line. At least he was predictable. So right now, the bottom line being led by Tim Wortman Jr., Warren Young, Justin Belmonte, Brandon Bikey, Nick King, rounding out your top 5 as we currently sit. It's that outside lane not looking as comfortable as they really want to be right now, as Warren Young in the Chevy not making any headway right now in that top line. And I may have lost Matt. So Wortman, Belmonte, Belmonte, King, Justice, Young, Carmichael, Matthews, as Belmonte or Bikey gets into the wall. And takes Shane Davis with him. They now drop way back outside of the top 20, go both of them. And they got shuffled to the back quick, fast, and in a hurry. As Carmichael still leads that top side, or now leads the top side, I should say. And they have caught the 42. They have? I don't know what's going on anymore, folks. I give up. Hunter Carmichael leading the topside charge now in the 3. Double deuce of Bobby Justice up there as well. Currently holding 4th car in line on the bottom side. .42 Warren Young looking a little racy, trying to get some clean air to the radiator of that Camaro. Two of your biggest movers right now flirting with the top 10 is John Binder in the 33 gets into the top 10. Jordan Schmeetz to his inside now is your biggest mover at plus 15. Sorry, plus 25 for Schmeetz after not laying a time in qualifying. Schmeetz has really picked the pace up here. All right. There's that. Meanwhile, Tim Wortman and Justin Belmonte continue to show the way as we are about halfway through this stage. Working lap 63, getting ready to put 63 in the books now. Wortman and Belmonte continue to show the way, and they're got a sizable gap on that bottom side. The question is, do they have too much of a gap? Only time will tell. Is right now Hunter Carmichael leading the top side, and he's got help about 4 or 5 rows deep right now. At least 4 deep. And he's got Warren Young, Barry Sanders, and Garrett Crawford up there with him. Nick King just trying to hang on right now as there goes Kenny Capola back out on track. Pretty much throw a blanket over your top 21 right now as Jeff Carson, the caboose in that little freight train at the front. And don't look now, but here comes Brandon Bikey back on a charge. He's got Shane Davis to his inside, following the 29 of Chris Davis around. And just like that, Hunter Carmichael gets the push that he needed. Bad boys to the front. Carmichael, Young, and Sanders running 1, 2, 3. 69 of Garrett Crawford up there with them. Guys are just flat picking them up and laying them down right now. The top lane starting to really come into its own here as we're working the lap 68. Last time these guys were down pit road was lap 42. Stage is going to end at the end of lap 80 going into 81. And let's let's face it, Carmichael needs these points. He absolutely needs them. As not too much moving and shaking going on at the very front of this piece. As we've still got some guys trying to claw their way forward. As here comes Schmeets on the outside, thinks better of it. He's just running in the line right now, running in 10th, running in 9th, plus 25. John Binder currently running in 6th on that top side is your second biggest mover of the night at 21 spots gained. Here comes Wortman and company back on the inside as we come to 10 to go in the stage. What do you say we go to a crank it up, shall we? Carmichael continuing to show the way as here comes Schmeets getting to the inside. Oh!
Trouble. Big time trouble. 4 cars in it. The 33 of Bender, John Bender's in it. The Sundrop Chevrolet in trouble, however, doesn't look like he has too much damage on that race car, Tony. But we stay green on the racing circuit.
How? No, we're not. We're under yellow conditions.
Yeah, I'm seeing that now, Tony. I'm just getting back into the session here.
Well, a look to the inside goes down. Oh,
Nick King, no. Shane P. Davis.
Davis catches it. Mullins catches it. Mullins has Bluetooth right front suspension now. Let's take a look at King here. So it's going to pop off when Binder tries to go to the inside of the 69 of Crawford, going into 1. Crawford left the door open and then tries to throw the block. Car low, bud. And creates havoc.
That was just not the best display of patience out there on the racetrack. Threw a bad block there at the end. And because of that, multiple drivers here suffer moderate damage. Caution back out on the Speedway working lap 75.
Definitely not what we were hoping to see here tonight. Only our second caution for an incident, though, so not too shabby so far. Bender's going to have to spend a little bit of time to get that fender pulled back out, maybe taped down.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very aero-sensitive track, as you know, Tony. Can't be out there with that fender poking out like
And
the end of a shovel.
I believe that is going to be the stage.
Yeah, right on cue. Lap 77, that's going to complete stage number 2. Hunter Carmichael, the 42, a young Wortman Jr., Belmonte, Sanders, Justice King, Norfry, Vikey, and Davis. Shane P. Davis, that is. That's going to round out the top 10. Is now we are through 2 stages, Tony. Only the 3rd stage remains. We shall crown a winner at the end of this one. 163 laps, the scheduled distance, or should these boys decide to take it into overtime, that is yet to be seen. But Hunter Carmichael takes stage number 2 after stage 1 was dominated by Wortman Jr.
And you know what? We are going to reach out now to both our stage winners as soon as I can find Hunter. And I believe you've got Hunter Carmichael with you now.
Hunter Carmichael, Matt, Tony up in the broadcast booth. You got us, bud?
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Hey, it's going great. Not as good as it's going for you right now. Get that win. Stage number 2. You got a bad, fast Chevrolet Monte Carlo. How were you able to keep that thing to the point?
I don't think the stage is over yet. We got, I think, till lap 80. I think we're going to go green here, and then should have white checkered, I believe.
All right, we're going to move you back to Bad Boy 2 then.
All right, we're going to get you back into racing position there, Carmichael. Thank you.
Thanks, fellas.
Okay, so apparently he didn't win the stage yet.
Man, we cannot get these stages right for the life of us tonight, Tony.
Well, the caution happened within 5 of the stage ends, so...
This is true, it did. Talk about making every attempt to get everything done under green flag conditions. We'll certainly give him that.
Got to give these guys props, big props for that.
Absolutely.
As Carmichael is going to lead us to green, his teammate Warren Young going to start to his outside. So those two guys are going to look to block both Tim Wortman and Justin Belmonte.
And Simon and Garfunkel there in the front row.
True story. More like Hall & Oates if things turn out the way that they did earlier. But pace car is in. And Carmichael leads him into the Geico restart zone, holds him down, finally jumps on the loud pedal. And Justin Belmonte not able to get up to speed as the 40 Deuce of Warren Young has to now struggle on that top side. It's going to be a 2-lap shootout here for the stage.
Oh, look at Wortman. He's thinking about peeking his nose out there. Checks back in line. Barry Sanders right there in 3rd. Could he be in the catbird seat? It's at the 3-car breakaway. Here comes Nick King with the help of that Hogan Viper in the 1 being, well, really it's a Toyota TRD Camry, but it sure looks like the Hulkamania Viper, and he's driving like it too, as Hunter Carmichael keeps it to the front of the house at the big house from Atlanta.
And he draws Barry Sanders up there with him. Sanders and Young both go with the 3 on the top shelf. Bottom shelf is being led by Tim Wortman now as he's getting pushed along by Nick King. Carmichael still leads, going through 3 and 4, coming out of 4. Green and white checker is in the air. Carmichael gonna win the stage.
The 3 of Carmichael gets it done. Barry Sanders, I believe Young has gotten the 3rd spot there. Wortman Jr., Belmonte, King, Justice, Pikey, Carson, and No Fry. That is your top 10. All going to accumulate some stage points there.
And with that, we are now going to officially reach out to our stage winner, Hunter Carmichael. Good thing we didn't jinx you, or else Matt and I never would have lived that down.
I said that when I got back out. I was like, man, those guys jinxed me. I'm not going to get this now. Luckily, we held on there. Great pushing by Barry and Warren. So
yeah, absolutely.
We're running pretty well.
Go ahead.
No, you mentioned great push in there by Barry, Hunter. How important is it to have that help at this racetrack through 82 laps of competition?
It's a lot. If you don't have help here, you're doomed. There's a lot of big teams in here, so they they'll get 5, 6, 7, 8 guys in a line, and if you get hung out dry, you're pretty much screwed.
Tony Trapasso, I didn't mean to cut you off there. Go ahead and take the next phase there, boss.
I was about to ask the same question. You boys from Bad Boys Racing, really easy to pick you guys out on the track tonight with those bright neon green paint schemes. How are you digging the? I called it earlier, baby puke green.
I love it
on the RS Button Box 3. Yeah, I mean it's a sharp looking green. So Barry Sanders definitely doing it right there.
But, yeah, Barry did a great job on him.
Hunter, we're gonna let you get back to it here. Best of luck to you in the final stage, my friend.
All right, thanks, fellas.
And with that, we are now going to reach out as soon as I find him again. There he is. We are now going to reach out to our stage 1 winner. And Tim Wortman, all things considered, can't be too disappointed getting in the points for both stages.
Oh, yeah. I needed that stage win, too. I think that may be my first one this year.
Well, with as tight as the points battle is, you're right there knocking on the door every week.
Somebody's wheel just disconnected.
What?
Oh, no. I think Kenny's wheel just disconnected. He went down and hit the inside wall.
Yes, God. Yes, it did. As we're going to go back and take a look at that, but under pacing too.
Watch this.
But Tim, getting back to it, definitely a strong run in the early going. What happened with you and Belmonte? Oh, there it go. Wow.
We loosened. If you notice in the first stage, we were maybe getting a little tight on corner entry. We took a little bit of clicks to loosen up the car, and I just don't think that click probably put it a little bit on edge. It wasn't nothing he did. The car was just a little on edge. He was trying to help me out in the draft, and it just didn't take anything to put me sideways. But we straightened her up. It's all good.
All right, Tim. Best of luck to you here in the final stage.
Thank you. Good to talk to you again.
Absolutely. It's been too long, my friend. You can hear it there. I mean, there's no hard feelings. There's just hard racing, in his opinion, and I can't say blame him for that one as the lights go out on the pace car. Aaron Matthews going to inherit the lead as he pit under the previous caution. Gave up the stage points to get the track position, as now he's got Barry Sanders Jr. starting right behind him. There is Wortman going to restart in 5th. And Paul Gallimore using fuel only to get up into 2nd place. One of your 2 biggest movers, as both he and Jordan Schmeets going to start stem to stern on the outside lane. Gallimore 22nd, up 22, and Schmeets up 30 from where he started.
Yeah, Gallimore thinks he's in Las Vegas with that big high stakes move there. Let's see how this pays off. Pace car is going to take it down pit road. That's going to give Aaron Matthews the button as these boys are re-racked, restacked, and we're going to commence fire here at Atlanta. These boys climbing up through the gearbox. Look at Schmeets working with Gallimore. He is painted all over the back of that Chevrolet Camaro. Look for the run come to the top side of the racetrack as they are formed up on the high side. But Aaron Matthews gets shot out of a cannon. Is he too far in front? Here comes the herd on the bottom line being led by Barry Sanders. He's going to have a ton of steam as it gets out of the back of Matthews. Great job on the bottom line getting that sorted up, because that could have been a problem. But all that momentum's got to go somewhere. Look at Gallimore. He took the big leap of faith there on the pit stop, fuel only, and he is now the leader here from Atlanta, working lap 86. What a move, what a call by the 11.
Well, I mean, we've heard drivers say that this new tire model, it feels like a hockey puck at times. Gallimore and Schmeets both going fuel only under that stage caution. Not sure why, but they did, as we had 5 sets of tires total to get them through the night. And so far, just about everybody's only changed. Oh, that's why. Okay, Gallimore and Schmeets came down under the previous caution.
Okay, that makes a little more sense.
whereas Matthews just stayed out. They came down to top the fuel tanks off as Sanders pushing his teammate.
Whoa.
Gallimore gets shuffled. Schmeets
Hold
looks
on,
to the
Howard.
inside, and the 42 is going to come out on the losing end of that whole exchange as Warren Young is in a 3-wide situation. He is not happy about it as Caden Nofree, plus 22, got caught in the sucker hole.
Schmeets almost had to change it. Schmeets his linen and his race suit. Someone just caught the wall there.
That was Young in the 42.
Young. It's big time impact. You saw that smoked or that.
Oh, absolutely.
That paint went flying there. Now they're 3 wide. They quickly bail out of it.
Oh, no, they didn't.
Oh, dear. I stand corrected. You're right, Tony.
Oh, dear. Googly moogly.
Betsy.
As Derek Jacobs, they got caught in the sucker hole that time. He jumps on the binders as Nick King dropped a few spots, spending some extra time under the caution to get some damage repaired on the 4. Stays on the lead lap, though.
So that's going to move. Say, stand corrected. Aaron Matthews still at the point in the 5 ride. Barry Sanders, Tim Wortman Jr. in 3rd. Jeff Carson in the 81. Look who's now crested the top 5. Jeff Carson, who would have thought? We haven't mentioned his name hardly all day.
True story is, and that chromed out Toyota looking just as crisp as when they rolled it off the hauler this morning.
It's chromed out and trimmed out.
As Aaron Matthews, Barry Sanders, Tim Wortman Jr., Jeff Carson, Paul Gallimore, your top 5 right now. And take a look at Carson and Gallimore. Plus 17 for Carson, plus 19 in 5th for Gallimore. But they're still not your 2 biggest movers. That goes to the 44 and 41. Caden Nofree in the 44 is plus 24. Jordan Schmeets now plus 26.
26. That is incredible. Just inside the top 10. Schmeets up 26, as Tony was saying, and 8. And that inside the top 10 in 10th, Caden Norfry up 23. That's some big-time power play, especially against the competition, Tony.
Especially when those 2 guys are running on a couple of the smaller teams, I believe. Let me double-check my little factoid there.
I believe you are correct.
Gallimore is running with Beast Mode Racing, and so is Schmeets. So yes, they're running with the big dogs. So is Jeff Carson, for that matter. Bikey, Chris Davis, Carson, Taylor, Schmeets, Atwood, Gallimore, and Shane Davis are all running for Beast Mode here tonight. So that's one of the bigger teams that we heard Hunter Carmichael referencing. And for Bad Boy, you've got Aaron Matthews, Barry Sanders, Darren Mills, Daryl Klotz, Garrett Crawford, Hunter Carmichael, John Binder, and Warren Young. And right now, the Bad Boys are leading the way with Aaron Matthews and Barry Sanders running stem to stern 1 and 2 right now. But that top lane starting to form up, the charge being led by Jordan Schmeets. And he's got some pretty good company up there in the form of Chris Davis and Paul Gallimore.
Yeah, that 3-car tandem up the top shelf, they're making it work right now as they're starting to close in.
Gallimore is going to have to get a little more aggressive for them to really make some headway, though.
Yeah, you're right. He's going to have to turn the wick up just a little bit, Tony. But now Schmeets is leading that top lane. He's going to round the 3 of Hunter Carmichael. Now they're closing in on talking about the inside line here. Well, never mind. There that run goes just as fast as it started. It seems at times the top lane is better through the top line is faster through the corners of this racing surface, but on the straightaways, that bottom lane seems to have the advantage.
Well, I mean, it's a short way around on a track that you don't lift at. hey, why don't you? But
Hey, you know what's better than no lift shift. Keep your foot right in it and just pound those gears.
yeah, that's about the only good thing I can say about the new transmissions in these cars. Back in the old Rock Crusher days, you still had to be mindful that you don't explode gears, by over revving it.
This is true. This new transmission, you can just literally send it anytime you want.
Yeah, but it's a little more dangerous now, because now you're thinking, okay, I can upshift and downshift without really hitting the clutch. But the question is, do you really want to? I mean, yes, it's a virtually bulletproof transmission in these next gen cars, but the engines aren't. If you're in, let's say, fourth gear, and instead of pulling it back into fifth, you put it down into third, and you're at the top of the rev range. All you got to do is push that shifter the wrong way, and you got a nice cloud of smoke coming up from underneath your car, bud.
Yep, blaze of glory, money shift city. You're right, Tony. That's all she wrote. Is now Schmitz here is going to tuck in between the three of Hunter Carmichael. So that's one big train getting a single car formation, getting it done here around the bottom of the Atlanta Motor Speedway, this 1.5 mile facility. It is hot in ATL. It is hot on the racing surface, Tony, and still more than halfway through the race now, and that track temperature is still a sizzling 111 degrees. No change in the wind, still coming out of the northeast at that 12 miles an hour.
Yeah, unfortunately, that wind's still up there. But the good news is the track temperature has cooled off about 15 degrees, actually almost 20 degrees now since when we started.
Yes, it was up there around the 130 degree mark.
Yes, it was. Now we're only at 111 degrees on track temperature. It seems weird to say it that flippantly.
I was thinking the same thing just as you said that.
It's like the line from Blazing Saddles. You act like it's hot as hell down here. Heck, it can't be hotter than 122. As we're watching along with Jameson Middle Miss, as he's running pretty deep in this pack, got Brandon Bikey right behind him. This is the second group, as the front group is checked out. So throw a blanket over your top 9, and then from 10th on back, there's David Balasari, currently leading the second group in 10th. And he's got Ryan Huff there with him. Huff's been in contention, top 10 most of the day.
Yeah, that 93 car has been really strong, Tony. You're absolutely right. Hit the nail on the head. If he can just get some luck now on his side, that Indiana native from Evansville, 28 years old, one of the young guns here in the series, having himself a great run here through 104 laps of competition.
We are at that, and while we do have a little bit of a lull in the action before we're going to see what should be the money stop here in another 12 to 15 laps, I would say. We are going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this. Don't worry, you're not going to miss a thing as we go side by side. And we are back at Hot Atlanta as we're watching lap 116 get in the books, and we're watching John Bender get sent. He and Jamison Middleman just had a meeting of the minds down the back straightaway. And we were just making a comment that the old Ted Musgrave paint scheme that Middlemas is running looks real sharp here tonight. Rocking for Team Watson Racing. Looks like the old Family Channel car. For those of you who are old enough to remember that whip.
I was just a young boy when that car was on the racetrack, but how could I forget the color scheme? And
I was in college. Shut up. Young whippersnappers. As we're getting ready to see what should be the final round of green flag pit stops happen here in the non-too-distant future, as they would get within you can make it from here territory here in the next handful of laps. Aaron Matthews and Barry Sanders continue to show the way. Hunter Carmichael up to third. Tim Wortman Jr., Justin Belmonte, Jeff Carson rounding out your top 6 right now. Jordan Schmeets up there as well. Currently your biggest mover at plus 27. What
Reckon 3, Tony. Reckon 3.
Oh, crap.
Oh, was that
Taylor?
Jeff Taylor?
Yep. Let's go back and take a look at what happened to Taylor here. As he's got Shane Davis in front of him, Nick King behind him. And, just gets sideways and cannot save it.
Save it.
Miss. Okay.
Missed him.
And that's what brought out the caution, because he was off the racing line. Then, but that front end is a mess.
Yeah, he's got that Mustang makeover.
And that was right in front of the leaders too.
I mean, literally, hold on to your pants, Aaron Matthews and company. They had a prime for that one.
Yeah, luckily, the Taylor decided to back it down off the banking rather than try to drive it up. But wholesale pit stops, not a big surprise, as we were expecting them any lap now. Caution coming at the prime time for everybody.
You talk about gambling in the pits, right, Tony? I mean, Aaron Matthews, I mean, clearly had that one dialed up. I mean, 100% spot on.
Gave up the stage points for it.
Gave up the stage points for it, but, I mean, he led pretty much that entirety of that entire run out there until this last caution here, lap 121 now, and he's going to retain the lead coming off of pit road. Barry Sanders is going to close proximity, comes off second, but Aaron Matthews in the 5 ride. There's Hunter Carmichael as well, part of Team Send It, I like to call him, but that is Bad Boy Racing. And Tim Wortman Jr.'s there as well.
I want to go back for a second here. Hold on. Hold on. I got to see this. Tim Wortman's pit sign is Wheeler Walker Jr.
Wait, what?
Take a look at the pit board from where Wortman would be pitting. It's Wheeler Walker Jr. on his pit board.
In the world?
I mean, it's a little cleaner than what I did on the pit board I made for you.
I was going to say, that's right up there with you and your pit board madness.
For those of you wondering, the last car I painted for Matt, I put a giant middle finger as the pit board.
And guess what? I never missed my pit box.
There you go. So a few drivers getting the wave around here as we get ready to turn them back loose. I believe that was... No, it wasn't. Who was that?
Tony, remember that pre-race conversation?
No, I don't, and I'm not going to mention that pre-race conversation that I don't remember.
No one said you had to mention it.
No, I don't remember a pre-race conversation Matt.
Okay, I don't
I,
remember it then either.
I
It must
don't,
have been another life.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. It was all about Aaron Matthews in that 5 ride.
No. It was about Kenny Capola. Be honest here. This Capola, unfortunately, had a wheel disconnect, so he's out of this piece. As the lights are out on the pace car, Matthews going to lead us back to green. And it's a sea of bad boy racing at the front of this piece. Matthews, Sanders, Carmichael, your top 3. Then you got Wortman and Carson rounding out your top 5.
Almonte, Davis, Norfry, Schmeets, and Gillimore. That's the top 10 as those lights are out on the pace car as they come off at turn number 4.
Pace car is in. Being mindful that the 44 of Nofri and the 41 of Schmeets both sitting plus 25 right now. As the green flag comes back out and we get a good getaway. Unfortunately, Barry Sanders has no help from Tim Wortman.
Oh, finally, he's going to get some love from Wortman in the 83. Justin Belmonte there as well. But because of the lag there of getting some help there for Barry Sanders, that's going to give Aaron Matthews a clean getaway. Hunter Carmichael as well. But look at Barry Sanders. He's charging back on the top side. They quickly got that line formed up. Here they come.
And look who's coming on the low side.
Carson.
Getting pushed by Davis right now. As this is the highest running Chris Davis has been in a while. He's currently sitting plus 17. He and Jeff Carson both plus 17 right now as they run stem to stern.
You know, Tony, what do we always say about restrictor plate racing? If you're in it, you can win it. And Atlanta falls right into that category now, as far as I'm concerned.
As Hunter Carmichael getting a case of the blinkies here. Paul Gallimore has to take it to the apron coming through the dog leg.
Oh, someone just got set into the safer barrier. We stay green. Definitely a plume of
No,
smoke about
we're not
impact.
staying green because Shane Davis is parked.
There's a caution.
There it is. No, there it's not.
Oh, Tony, we're still green.
Well, let's go back and see what happened with Davis here.
I seen someone got sent up north.
Oh, it looks like it might have been Davis. They were 3 wide. And King just gets into him. Oh!
King cooks Shane P. Davis. However, caution does not jump out on the racetrack. Is now Davis has that car rolling. Still green, did not throw a caution flag there. Aaron Matthews continues to carry Lady Luck with him on his side as he's out here carrying the torch around the dang thing. Getting it done here in ATL. Hunter Carmichael and Barry Sanders, Tim Wortman Jr., Justin Belmonte is the top 5. And these guys are ripping right now, Tony. Last time by, just a tick over that 32nd bracket up front.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not even close enough to really count for horseshoes or hand grenades from getting down into the 29s. Is right now your fastest car on track that last time by. Where am I looking? There it is. Is going to be Barry Sanders with a 30-19.
He is motoring.
Somebody's into the wall.
Seems like the faster we kick these lap times up, the easier it is to get up there and catch a little piece of that outside retaining wall.
Unfortunately, you're correct. So far, no harm, no foul is throw a blanket over your top 17 as we currently sit.
That man piloting that crazy train continues to be Aaron Matthews in the 5 ride. Hunter Carmichael, my goodness, he is smothered and covered all over the back of that number 5 Chevrolet Camaro. Good Lord.
And with Carmichael just getting the blinkies every once in a while, it's got to be unnerving for both Matthews and Sanders.
For certain. I mean, that is the worst feeling in the world, especially in a plate track configuration here, just in line, just running there pretty much wide open, and the guy in front of you decides to go into blink mode. I mean, that is just gut wrenching. I can promise you that.
Well, it's a good thing we're not running Indy cars, because the last time I saw that happen was an IndyCar race, and the driver had a run, disappeared, ended up in the passenger seat of an Indy car. Both cars just went straight to the moon. As they work their way around Shane Davis. Davis still not up to pace. 3 wide. Oh, brother, hang on to it. That was Bikey making the big move.
Mikey actually, I believe, just set the fastest lap of the race here a couple moments ago at a... Sorry, I take that back. Did not set the fastest lap of the race, but certainly in that talk of the fastest lap. Last time by 30.10, flying out there.
Now, fast lap of the event goes to the 88 of Barry Sanders with a 29.5.
29.5. Absolute speed freak.
And we are 30 to go this next time by. Matthews, Carmichael, Sanders, Wortman, Gallimore, Belmonte, Bikey, Carson, Davis, and Justice. Your top 10 as we currently sit. And here comes Jordan Schmeetz back on Justice to try to wrestle that spot away from him. Another driver we haven't mentioned too much here tonight, Nick Atwood in the 24, sitting plus 17 in 12th right now on that bottom side. Just the bottom lane has not been able to really get going too much.
Not like they have been through the earlier portion of this race, Tony. You're absolutely right.
Another guy that we haven't had a chance to talk about much either is right behind him in the 48. That's Matt Mackin, who's had a pretty quiet run so far here tonight. As Gallimore has gotten back by the 1 of Bikey. Gallimore now leading that bottom side charge. And oh, contact with the double deuce coming across the stripe.
Big time contact, Tony.
It was just a love tap. Nothing too major, but they did rub some paint. Another coat of paint on either one of those cars, they probably would have been in trouble. Right now, these guys are picking them up and laying them down. As we're watching Bikey and Carson run stem to stern now. Here comes the 42 on the bottom side. Warren Young trying to make it happen. Oh, baby. 3 wide.
Tell you what, nothing gets my blood pressure pumping in the broadcast booth. 3 wide like you're seeing right now. Paul Gallimore, hold your breath. Get skinny, brother. Look at them doing the truffle shuffle, trying to get this sorted out.
And that all started when the 42 decided to go low. And everybody got a run on him, and nobody could figure out where to take the run at that point. Oh, brother. And they still don't have this one figured out. It's Crawford in the 69 looking to the inside of Carson. Carson plus 13 running in 8th right now. Crawford getting hung out to dry. Nobody going with him yet. And he continues to drop back into the clutches of the 42 of Warren Young. Oh, Atwood into the wall.
Big time contact for Atwood in the 24. Dean Watson racing.
And that was a Waffle House situation behind him as everybody scattered to try to stay off him.
Still big time moment there for Atwood.
It absolutely was. As we are fast approaching 20 to go here from Atlanta. Round number 19 of the Moonshiners Racing Cup Series.
Slow your train of thought, but I have the weather graphic overtaking my screen. If you could possibly help me with that, please.
The what?
Weather graphic.
Better?
No, sir. Recycle it on my end. Well, we're just going to go ahead. We're going to shut that off for now.
Sounds like a good idea. Is problems for Chris Spear. He went off track for a little bit there. Gets it back up to speed as we are now 20 to go here at Hotlanta. Aaron Matthews has led since the restart from the stage caution. Hunter Carmichael sitting in second. Barry Sanders into third. Chris Davis, big charge for him. Plus 18 running in fourth right now. So good recovery drive for Chris after not posting time in qualifying.
Yeah, that 29 has had a ride ever since the drop of the green flag, as Tony mentioned, came back deep in the woods. But how about that man sitting there in third, just buying his time ever so diligently? Still looking at that Hulkamania Viper there. That car has been bad fast at times. That TRD Camry working right off the back of the 93 of Ryan Huff. He's been up there too at times, knocking on the back door to lead this thing.
And they just hung Tim Wortman out to dry. Belmonte went up topside, and Wortman now finally is able to get in line, as now Gallimore hung out like last week's laundry.
Now, Tony, let me ask you a question here. Switch my hats. I was trying to do this earlier before that lightning strike hit my backyard.
Yeah.
If you're a race car driver, do you remember that, especially with 20 laps to go? If someone leaves you, hangs you out to dry, do you return the favor?
Depends on the track.
Fair enough.
Depends on the situation, really. If I need the points and we're coming to 1 to go, I'm probably going to move them. Not going to purposely try to wreck them, but I'm going to try to move them.
Right.
Dale Earnhardt Sr. on Terry Labonte style.
All he meant to rattle his cage a little bit.
And speaking of hung out to dry, Barry Sanders dropping down. Looks like that car may have been getting a little on the hot side as we're 16 to go. This is not the direction Sanders wants to be moving.
No, there may be a little crack of daylight where you can shift up the racetrack here in between Huff. He's going to pull a squeeze job. He's going to get in line, but certainly stops the bleeding. But he lost about 6 positions there, I think. 5 or 6 out there on the racetrack.
And the drop from 3rd to 7th, so 4 anyways. It's Chris Davis. Chris Davis working the outside of Hunter Carmichael now. As Carmichael drops down to pick Sanders up.
Now that's a teammate. That's a teammate right there, Tony Trapasso. Look at the dedication from Hunter Carmichael.
Well,
comes down and picks up the boss man, and here comes another one of the bad boys. That's the 42.
All they got to do is get the 69 at Crawford to join him on that bottom side, and he does.
There it again. I wonder if this is pre-planned. I wonder if they dialed this up in practice.
Probably. I'm not going to put it past them. But it's definitely got a strong outside line right now.
Here they come, too. They're charging to the front.
They are moving forward, that's for certain. As Matthews and Davis continue to show the way at the front of this piece. Bikey, your pole sitter, is currently running third car on the top side, being scored in fourth. As Carmichael is coming with a head of steam.
Bad boys, bad toys. Hunter Carmichael leading the charge. He's got help from Barry Sanders and the rest of the team. They are making that bottom side look bad fast. As he now pulls side by side just about with the 29. Can they get all the way around the 5 of Aaron Matthews here? We're about to find out, but these guys have it formed up and trimmed out on the bottom. The top shelf gets a good run there. Is now here comes the 1 pulling back, but here comes the 3 of Hunter Carmichael back, now on the rear quarter panel of Aaron Matthews.
And these guys are still pushing the daylights out of each other. Sanders trying to get some clean air to the radiator of that RS button box is number 88. As he's still pushing the bubble. And when I say bubble, there's pretty much a balloon around this car right now as far as the aerodynamics go. And Barry Sanders right now is using the air off of his own car to push on Hunter Carmichael, and they've got lap traffic in front of them. This could get ugly as we are 10 to go.
Oh, this could get ugly, bad, fast, and in a hurry. Hopefully that lap traffic is aware that this lead pack is coming, as they still don't have it figured out on the bottom side of the racetrack. Every time Hunter Carmichael pulls even with Aaron Matthews, that outside lane gets a little extra surge of momentum, and they lose a little bit of ground. That could be the fact that the 88 of Barry Sanders and Hunter Carmichael have become dislodged from the rest of the team. The top line really has it really shaped up and formed up now, as you can start to see the momentum shifting back to the top now, Tony Trapasso.
Well, right now, the bottom lane is trying to figure out if it really wants to push the envelope 3 wide as John Bender gets down and out of the way. Oh.
It's skinny.
Suck it in.
I don't like the looks of this, Tony Trapasso. I'm sorry. I don't like the feel of this. I don't like the way this looks.
No, this is going to end poorly. I can feel it. I can feel it coming. 8 to go.
Come on, guys. 3 wide. Oh, Chris Spear. Barry Sanders.
There it goes. Go. The fuck out the way.
Oh, my God. Tony, I hate it when you're right.
I hate it when I'm right in a situation like this. We stayed green.
What?
They stayed green.
Holy.
Yep.
Toledo. We stay green on the racetrack after 3 wide carnage strikes from cars a lap down off the base. This is really going to help seal the deal perhaps for Aaron Matthews, Chris Davis. Hunter Carmichael somehow finds a way to finagle his way through that and is in third. How in the world did Hunter Carmichael get up to third?
He bailed at just the right time. Everything was happening with Barry behind him, as Barry was 3 wide and had pushed him just beyond the carnage. And Justin Belmonte was just far enough back off of Chris Davis that there was an opening for Carmichael as we come to the handshake lap. 5 to go.
5 to go. 10 miles. I'm sorry, not 10 miles. Oh, my God. What am I thinking? Anyways, Aaron Matthews continues to be the man, being the ringmaster here with some pit road strategery, making him look like the smartest man here. Here it goes. Here goes the move from Chris Davis. He's going to turn it down to the bottom. But Tony, he has no help. No one went with him. Oh, wait, here comes Justin Belmonte. He's going to leave him hung out to dry. He's going to go to the top side. Wow, and just like that, Chris Davis is going to go from second, potentially all the way back to fifth, if not further. Caden Nofry barely lets him in.
Well, I mean, No Fry right now is a lap down. So he's just trying to help Davis as much as he can. As Davis currently one of your two biggest movers, Jordan Schmeat sits just outside the top 10 right now as we are 3 to go. And taking a look back there, that is Sanders and Crawford running in 9th and 10th.
9th and 10th right there, respectively, on the racetrack. Is I'm surprised Barry Sanders doesn't have more damage on that race car, because that was big. That was epic.
Oh, it could have been a lot worse than it was. Luckily, it wasn't. As Matthews and Carmichael continue to show the way here tonight. And it's been just a yellow car dominance most of this evening.
Oh, man.
Belmonte's not happy.
Nice. I don't know how the three held on to it, Tony. I have no idea.
He got help.
Look at these guys swerving like...
He got help from his friend's safer barrier. As we are 2 to go, coming to the white flag. Matthews can see the white flag in the air. We are racing back to checkers.
One more time around this 1.5-mile oval for Aaron Matthews. They are getting busy behind him, though, as that was almost disastrous for about 2 laps, but they keep it pointed straight. Aaron Matthews into the 5, going down the backstretch for the final time. Big move. Here comes Justin Belmonte. He's going to dodge the 5 out of the way. Here comes the bottom line. The 6 of Justin Belmonte. Oh, there's contact. There's going to be a big spin. There's contact. More contact. And Justin Belmonte wins here from the dirty south of Atlanta. Are you kidding me? Is the... Oh my goodness. Gets Ryan Newman by the 93 of Huff. They're still wrecking Tony Trapasso.
Well, let's go back and take a look at that one.
I can't believe what we just witnessed. You knew there was going to be a move.
Belmonte made the move to the inside and just took the air off the spoiler of the 5 of Matthews. Got him up the track. Matthews tries to come down, gets into... Wow! Gets into Chris Davis. Paul Gallimore ducks. Jeff Carson rounds out your podium, and Hunter Carmichael is going to the infield care center.
Oh, Carmichael just...
Holy
oh my
cow.
goodness. Ryan Huff absolutely routed him.
Good grief. That was a shot. And as we watch him do his donuts here, I believe you've got a race winner with you now, Matt.
All right, I'll stop doing the burnout. How's it going, guys?
Did we lose Matt? We may have lost Matt, but what a finish. Justin Belmonte, talk us through that winning move.
Man, I didn't think I'd have a shot with those teammates in front of me. And I got close enough to the 3 and pulled him back just enough that it slowed the 5. It was like a chain reaction, and it just happened to work. And I didn't think it would, but we got lucky there. That was awesome.
Well, you timed the move just right to take the air off the 5's rear spoiler, and then all hell broke loose behind you.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
That kind of helped me. I thought he was gonna be able to come back. I thought he was gonna get my right rear and pull me back a little bit. But I had a good enough run where it worked out. I'm super pumped. That was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. But you had a strong car all night, ran towards the front through most of this race. Who do you need to thank? Who helps you get it done on that car, sir?
Yeah, Team Watson, of course. Primarily, they put out a good setup every week, and me and Tim, I feel so bad for Tim. We were trying to push him to a win there, and it just didn't work. That last wreck, I don't know what happened with those lap cars in front of us, but I happened to just sneak through, and it was just a luck of the break there. to sneak through, and unfortunately he did, and we were trying to work together the whole race, and we had a great game plan going. I mean, we were first and second, fifth and sixth. I mean, we were right there the whole time. It's fortunate, but pretty pumped that we got lucky enough for a win there.
All right, Justin, congratulations on the victory, and we will definitely be seeing you next week. Best of luck to you then.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate you guys putting it on.
And joining me now is the man who ducked and dodged when it came time to do so and just barely got out of the way of all that carnage. One of your two biggest movers of the night, Paul Gallimore. Congratulations on the podium.
Thanks, sir. I just hung around long enough just to, I guess, to get a decent little finish out of that.
Well, you definitely dodged when you needed to and ducked when you had to there coming to the line. Talk us through what you saw from where you were sitting coming to the checkers.
Well, Jeff and I were doing a heck of a job catching them, and Chris pulled down, and we were hoping to get a good little run there. I was getting quite a bit tight on corner entry, so I wasn't able to kind of push in, but I knew I could throttle it down and get off. So when we were coming off that corner, I looked ahead, and next thing I know, I saw cars to the right and to the left, and I was like, well, I'm going to go as far left as I can, and that's kind of what happened, and the seas kind of parted. I'm not sure if you watched the in-car, but it's pretty entertaining.
Well, you know what? Let's do that now while we got you here. Is we're going to go back and take a look at coming to the checkers.
Yeah, I was just, like I said, I was just running that low line because I knew I'd have escape routes because I had a feeling that somebody's going to wad them up there.
Well, we're on board with you right now in the cockpit, and here you are coming out of 4, and there goes all the carnage. Cars to the left of me, cars to the right of me. Here I am stuck in the middle with you, and you come home in second place tonight at Atlanta. What I mean, the cards fell right in your lap tonight.
Actually, yeah, it was interesting how the pit strategy worked out. After that last stage, there was a caution about 3 laps for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not here for stage points. I'm here to try to get dubs and stuff. So I was like, well, I'm going to pit. So I pitted and took 4 there before the end of the stage, knowing that other people would have to. So all I had to do was take a little bit of gas, and I came out, and that gave me the track position I'd been lacking all night. And then after that, I was able to kind of just stay in the top 10, I felt like, for a good part. And there was some help of a lot of great teammates like, like Brandon and Chris and Shane. Them guys were up there, and Jeff Carson finished 3rd there. Congrats to them too. So just pretty happy how it turned out. Congratulations to Belmonte on that nice dub too. So.
All right. Well, Paul, again, congratulations. It's been too long since we've gotten a chance to talk with you this season, and hopefully you continue that luck into next week.
Appreciate it since Darlington. So got the DW throwback on this one too. Y'all might not recognize it, but it's a chrome car.
That's the thing. I saw the orange on the bottom and the 11 on it, and it reminded me of the Hooters car that Brett Bodine drove.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now this is the Darrell Waltrip. Even the ones, it doesn't have the 17.
Yes.
It's the ones.
Right. That's what threw me off.
Yes.
Okay. So we're both kind of right. But Paul, congratulations, and we'll talk to you next week. And I believe I got my broadcast partner back with us just in time to speak to the man of the night, who we were both rooting for him all night long. Matt, I believe you got Jeff Carson with you now.
Oh, there he is, the man. No one circles the wagons like the 81 of Jeff Carson. It's about time we get to talk to you, man. Walk me through that wild final couple laps. How were you able to get that 81 home in one piece and at the front of the field?
I couldn't tell you how it came home in one piece. I know we lost the draft a little bit, that little check up there, and I had Paul behind me, and we had a little bit of gap there to the leaders, but I knew I was going to have one heck of a run coming to probably the white flag or so, and I told Chris as soon as I got to him, drop to the bottom, I was going to push him to the front, and I wasn't lifting. I slammed him right in the butt and kept on getting in it.
Certainly did. No lift, no fear, man. I'll tell you what, Tony and I always say, if you ever get a little bit of luck on your side, it definitely turn your season around, and we certainly seen it here where things went in the opposite direction for you. You come out of there with a solid finish. Congratulations, Jeff. What does this do for your momentum now? Can you carry this into next week?
I'm hoping. New Hampshire's not really my good track, but it seems like everyone's having a tough time at that track. So if I just play my cards right, I might be able to, at least get a top 5, top 10, and after everybody wrecks out.
Hey, you certainly always seem like you're there in speed, especially on the top run each and every week. But just sometimes Lady Luck hasn't been so kind to you in the past. But hey, we're over the hump now. Looking at the new improved 81 Jeff Carson. Before we cut you loose, who do you want to thank who helps you get it done?
Well, I want to thank all my teammates on Beast Mode, my Watson setups, and of course, everybody, you guys up there broadcasting, and the league owners. And if you guys ever want to get some Xfinity setups, I build them for Watson. Use promo code JC10, get 10% off.
Well, I may have to take you up on that, Jeff Carson. Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, comes home second. The 81, Jeff Carson. Tony Trapasso, back to you, sir.
The pride of Cross Junction, Virginia. Congratulations on the podium here tonight. Best of luck to you next week at New Hampshire. Let's take a quick look at our finishing order here tonight. As Belmonte, Gallimore, Carson, we just spoke to those three gentlemen. Solid runs from all three of them here tonight. Hunter Carmichael comes home in fourth. Chris Davis rounds out your top five. Backwards is Hunter Carmichael now being released from the infield care center, we're being told. Just a little shaken up. Aaron Matthews,
Yeah.
Ryan Huff, Tim Wortman Jr., Jordan Schmeets, and Kyle Holden rounding out your top 10. Bobby Justice in 11th, Nick Atwood, Barry Sanders Jr., and Garrett Crawford rounding out the top half of the field. Matt?
Hey, Tony, if you could take us the rest of the way through, as I
Okay.
was unable to reload the session.
Garrett Crawford, Jamison Middle Miss in 15th, Matt Mackin, David Belisari, Brandon Bikey in 18th, Hayden Nofree and Shane Davis rounding out your top 10. Bikey, the last one to finish on the lead lap in 18th. Nick King coming home in 21st, John Binder 22nd, Warren Young in 23rd, Daryl Klotz, Paul Whitley, Darren Mills, Jeff Taylor, where are we? Chris Spear, Derek Jacobs, Darren Mullins, Randy Mullins, Kenny Capola, and Wayne Bowen rounding out your drivers that took the green here tonight. That is going to do it for us from the Moonshiners Cup Series. Be sure to join us, excuse me, as I almost swallow my own tongue.
Don't do that, Tony.
No, that's not a good thing. But be sure to join us tomorrow night, as I will be on the call for the Racers Elite round number 2 from Dover. That'll be a 7:30 Eastern Time start for that one. In the meantime, from here at Atlanta, we wrap things up. I'm Tony Trapasso. He's Matt Metler, reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that until we meet again, and as you walk down the road of life this week, do us all a huge favor. Don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.